Rick, I guess maybe just some questions about some of the people that weren't out there for the skate today. What can you tell us?
It was an optional, and the guys who were not out there today, we fully expect to be ready to play tomorrow. It was their choice today whether they went on the ice.
Yeah, it was, I guess, the same deal near the end of the Colorado game. It was just maintenance more than anything else. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So, Rick, after the Dallas game, and it came from two guys who you had pretty good history with, but Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, first things out of their mouth, that's Bones hockey. How, I guess, reassuring or validating is it to have your team discover that and play that way for 120 minutes rather to go into this week?
Well, to me, we played most of the season like that. That's why we've been in first or second place in the goals against all year. So it's nice that it came in those two games against two great opponents that, we were able to find a way to win the game and do things right. But we've had a ton of those games all year. We lead the league, we're tied with Carolina for regulation wins. So, again, we've got 50 wins, so it's not just those two games. We've done a lot of good things. Now, we just, I guess the focus on that is that it's against two of the elite teams in our division. So the timing of that is really good. But we played a lot of good hockey this year. We're a good hockey team.
I think those questions were aimed more towards playing against Dallas specifically. I don't know.
And Colorado, they're two great hockey teams, man. They got a lot of power.
Yeah.
They got all three lines can score. Very active D. Both of those teams are outstanding hockey teams, and they are. So for us to go in there and play as well as we did, that's encouraging.
And with Nino, does it fall under the category of delightful dilemma, rather, with the way David Gustafson, played on the left side of that line, and now Nino's ready to go? As you guys talk about that as a coaching staff,
it speaks well of the depth of the organization and the fact that we can put the guys in the right roles. I think that's Gus more of a role like that he plays with Adam and Apple, and it shows the commitment to the team as well, because Gus hadn't played much, but he's been working his butt off every day, as the guys who are not playing are working very hard. The coaches working very hard, and we're all very confident when we put them in that they're ready to do what we need them to do, and Gus is a perfect example.
So, Rick, this is a two-game homestand, but you guys have all the power in the world here to turn it into a four-game homestand by starting the first two in the playoffs. Just what's the importance of maybe trying to get that done tomorrow and not having to worry about any help or anything, having the power in your own hands?
It's all our focus is on tomorrow night's game. That's all we're focusing on. Take care of business tomorrow night. That's why I told them this morning, you know what you need to do to get ready for tomorrow. If you need to skate today and tomorrow morning, skate today and tomorrow. If you don't need to skate, don't skate. Whatever you do, put all our focus, all our energy on that game tomorrow night, and then we'll go from there.
Do you envision Nino playing tomorrow night?
If he feels like he did today when we go out there tomorrow, there's a good chance he will play.
And obviously there's some value in that, right? Because you'd like to get him a game or two to get him up to speed for the big stage next week.
Yeah, we're hoping he can play.
Obviously your team's a balanced attack and it's been well documented, but over the last 5 games, Nikolai Ehlers has played under 13 minutes. I'm curious if there's an element to his game you think he needs to elevate in order to get more minutes.
You all look at minutes, and I look at total shifts. The last game, Nick had 22 shifts, Kyle Connor had 21. There was a 4-minute difference in their ice time. Nick takes short shifts. It's as simple as that. So you look at ice time, and I look at shifts, right? So I make sure his shifts are up there.
Fair enough, yeah.
If he takes shorter shifts, he takes shorter shifts.
Fair, for sure. So just on his overall game, what have you thought of
it? I think he's playing great hockey for us, and he's been doing it for a while. So I'm very, very happy with the Knicks game.
What makes you happy with this game? Like, what's he doing?
Well, he's scoring, he's creating, he's using his speed. He's had some great back checks on the right reads, and especially in Dallas, he broke up a play, so he's playing smarter at both ends of the ice. He's using his speed to break up rushes against. He's using his speed to create offense. So we're very happy the way he's playing. He didn't have a good game in Nashville, and he knew that, but we addressed it, and he moved right into a great next game, so good on him.
Of Bones hockey. I'm a little bit dazzled by these last 2 games. I got to be honest. Like, a few weeks ago we were talking, hey, what's missing? Where's that consistency, all that sort of stuff? And these 2 games against top teams, I think that was the blueprint, right? So does that mean that you've figured out what was needed to get them? Because you told us a couple of times, this is a monologue, sorry, but you told us a couple of times you knew what they needed, but you weren't going to tell us. Have you solved that? What's going on that brought that?
We address what we need to address. It doesn't mean it's going to happen that game. The teams, there's no team in this league that's won 82 games. You're going to lose. You are. And you're going to go through stretches where maybe you're playing well and you're going to lose. So, that's how we want to play, but it's not going to fall into place every night. It's not going to be perfect. It's not. It's not going to be textbook hockey every night. There's another team out there, and they're trying to win. And they've got great players. So you just have to make sure that you're playing your best, and right now we need to be playing our best hockey. And there was games that we played early in the year, we played really well, and we lost. And you live with that. When we don't play well, we address those areas. It doesn't mean it's going to turn around in one game. It doesn't. But it means you start addressing those things before it becomes a bigger problem. Sometimes you're playing really well defensively and you're not scoring any goals and you lose. So it's all about how you play the game. And we're very honest with the players of how we played that particular game.
Your impact even before Winnipeg, so in Winnipeg, 2 straight years, fewer goals against than the year before. So that's pretty darned good, right? And Dallas as well. I think you guys gave up fewer goals and fewer scoring chances when you were the head coach. But yet we saw a month ago, all of a sudden, wait, it's not looking right. Is it taxing to play that way? Is that a game that guys can find, and when everything's on the line, they can do it?
It's hard to play, but again, sometimes we don't give enough credit to the opposition, right? They're good teams. They've got great players, and they want to win too. And that's why no one wins 82 games. So, again, it's like I said, sometimes we played well and we lost. Sometimes we played poorly and won, right? So, it over 82 games for every 32 team, it should balance itself out. And in our mind, with sitting here with 50 wins at this point, it's balanced itself out.
Rick, given how your road trip ended, how playoff ready would you consider your club at this moment?
Again, listen, we didn't see Colorado's A game, obviously. We didn't. We saw their C game. They're a great hockey team. And they showed it yesterday. They went right back into Vegas. And the next day in Vegas is sitting there arrested for them. And they gave them I know they ended up losing in overtime, but they battled a lot harder. So they recognized they had a bad game, and they fixed it for the very next day. Now, they ended up losing the game, but they played a whole lot better. Dallas was a really good game for us. That was the first time of the 3 previous games that we played our game against them and gave ourselves a really good chance to win the game. So that was encouraging. We're not going to be fooled by a 7-0 game in Colorado, so that's just a one-off for them. And so that's how we have to look at it. Did we do some really good things in that first period to give us that 4-0? Absolutely we did. Didn't give them much, and we capitalized on the chances we did, and then the game gets a little sloppy for both teams when it gets 5-6-0. But the Dallas game was really good.
So if the 35-game stretch where you gave up 3 goals or less is the high water mark for your structure and your system hitting on all cylinders, how close were these last 5, 6, well, I mean, not all of 5 or 6, but I mean, just the way that you are starting to peak right now, how close a comparison do you see there?
Yeah, we're right there. I mean, we didn't play well in Nashville. We had a bad game in Nashville. First period was okay. After that, we didn't play well. So we're close. We're right there, and we just got to make sure that we keep it going. But again, all our focus right now isn't on Colorado, isn't on Dallas, it's on Seattle and getting ready for tomorrow night.
Is there anything you can kind of attribute the almost snap your fingers turnaround we saw from periods 2 and 3 against Nashville to what we saw in those past 2 games?
Well, we just addressed what we don't like. Right, and it got the players' attention, so, which we've done before, and it hasn't come out. It took a few more games to come out, but that's hockey.
What does it sound like, or what does it look like getting the players' attention to the degree that you must have?
You might not want to sit in some of those meetings.
You mentioned being first or second most of the season in goals against, have a chance to be the best team in the league by the end of the season in that area. What kind of importance would that hold for you?
Well, the 2 points is important, but how we get those 2 points is playing good, solid team D. That's what it'll take tomorrow night. They're a good team, Seattle. I know they're out of the playoffs, but they have speed. They beat us before in here, so that will take care of us. We have to focus on the process, which we talk an awful lot about, is shift to shift, period to period. And when it doesn't go our way, then we try to address it and fix it. But we want to get home ice. We want that game tomorrow night, but it's going to play the right way for 60 minutes and do what you're talking about, and keep the chances against down, keep the goals against down.
Helly tomorrow night?
Helly tomorrow night? Are you okay with that? Do we need a discussion on this?